On today's Technobabble, my review of this, the Point Source Audio CM-i3 and iX series of headset.
This is Tech No Babble, your weekly source for church video and graphics news, perspectives, tips, and tricks. And now here's your host, Paul Clifford.
Hi, and welcome again to another episode of Tech No Babble. This is the show where every week we talk all about using video and graphic design in the church. I'm Paul Alan Clifford, I'm your host, and I'd love for you to ask your questions, leave your comments, just join the conversation. So if you're watching the video, leave it below the video. If you have questions or comments and you're listening to the audio podcast, you've been potentially listening for almost 10 years, so you're some of my favorite people, and I'd love for you to drop me a line at paul@trinitydigitalmedia.com or hit me up on Twitter, Paul Alan Cliff, PaulAlanclif. So today, I've got something a little unusual. I've got a review of an audio headset. Now, that's not exactly video, but these are often used in production when we're talking about the director talking to camera people, etc. So if you have more than one person involved in the live production at your church, you really ought to take a look at this. So first off, this is the one that I have is set up for a clear comm type system. That's what we have at my church, and that's what I've tested this on. Well, let's start with my initial reactions. First off, nice case. This is from Point Source Audio. They're the ones that manufacture this. And when you unzip it and open it up, you'll find that you have this nifty extension cable, which I used this past Sunday because the console-mounted base station that was in front of me was farther away than a belt pack, which is what I would use if I was on a camera. So that was a nice thing that I didn't think that I would use, but I used it in a seated position, not in a camera position. Secondly, we have this headset. Now, the mic isn't anything particularly special. It's fine, but there's nothing particularly special about the microphone itself. The real magic is in the headset. So let me uncoil this, and we'll start with this. This is the default position. Here, I'll turn it sideways. If you're watching the video, you can see this. Basically, this is kind of like one of those over-the-ear headsets that a lot of times speakers use, not a Countryman style, thicker one, like I think Audio-Technica makes one. So kind of like that, but the advantage here is that you can use earbuds with it. So if you're used to these types of comm systems, you might know that they typically use a circumaural design. That's, you know, the over your ear, look like hearing protection, or they use the supraaural design where it's like the 1980s headphones where it just sits on top of your ear, doesn't seal out external audio, which depending on how loud your church is, that may not be the right design for you. Both of those have problems. So the circumaural design doesn't, well, it's not very comfortable, especially if, like me, you wear glasses. I wear glasses, and that at first it feels fine, but after a couple of hours, because church is about an hour, hour and a half, we have 2 services, so I'm really wearing a headset like that for probably 3 or 4 hours on a Sunday. And so that makes it really gets annoying. So sometimes I'm like, when the pastor's up, I'll like take one off and let that ear rest, and then swap and let the other ear rest. With the supraaural design, the over-the-ear design, it doesn't seal out audio. So that's kind of a pain, although it's a more comfortable headset design. With this design, since it's earbuds, the real advantage here is that it goes in your ear, blocking out sound like in-ear monitors do, and it also allows you to have a much more comfortable experience. So that's really nice. Another advantage of this is here, I'm going to show you down here at the connector. You know, it's a 4-pin female XLR, but just off of that, we have this little doohickey, which is a mini plug. So you can actually replace these earbuds, the ones that ship with this, or you don't have to order it with the earbuds. In fact, you'll save like $50 if you've got a set of Shure in-ears, for example, or let's say you even really like your earpods from your iPhone, for example. Whatever you want to do, you can replace the earbuds that come with it with your favorite earbuds. So that's really cool. Let's say that a lot of production people also have a background in music. So our tech and worship director at our church is both a musician, so he has in-ears that are custom molded to his ears. He used to work with Hillsong, and he's also a tech guy, so he has custom earbuds. So he could potentially take something like this and use his in-ears with it so that he gets maximum hearing protection, maximum fidelity of the sound, and he can use it as just a comm headset. So that's really cool. That's one thing that I really, really like about this. Another thing is, I don't know if it's designed like this. The default listening position is with the wire going over your ear. But one thing that I did last Sunday is I turned it upside down so that I could twist up the microphone, and I wrapped it around my neck. So in doing that, the microphone was up in front of my mouth, as you see it here, and I had a different set of earbuds in my ears. So that was pretty cool in that basically I was using iPhone earbuds with a production headset. And these were not the Apple iPhone earbuds. I mean, it has a mic and everything. I think they were Maxells, and I think that I bought them at Walmart for about $10. So very inexpensive, but they're comfortable. And when you're wearing it for 4 or 5 hours at least, I've been in situations where I've worked basically 15 hours straight before, not at church, but just in the production world. Sometimes it gets crazy. It's really nice to have a comfortable experience. Our CM-i3 person, which is our moving camera, he, for whatever reason, when they ordered that headset, they only ordered a single ear, probably because, you know, you'd put the camera up on your head and it would have pushed up again. So what we've typically done is taken the foam earbud hearing protection and put those in the unprotected ear. If you don't have one, though, your ear is just wide open, and it can you can really lose a little hearing temporarily in that case. So I told him all about this, and he was really excited for it as a product. So those are all the upsides to it. The downside is I'm having a little trouble getting the wires to stay in. The other downside is while I have flipped the side that the microphone is on once, I wouldn't recommend that you do it, because the way the design is, you're basically taking it part way apart and putting it back together. So that's less than ideal. Also, I found that this was just a bit big for my head, and I really wish that it was more adjustable. All in all, though, I really had a positive experience with this headset. I've seen it online for anywhere from $300 to $500. So shop around, because you might get a much better deal if you spend the extra time looking for this headset. So that is the recommendation that I have. I think if I had the budget and I was able to do it, I would pick one of these up. And for any church that's about to go into a comm system with ClearComm, etc., I think this is a really great alternative to the traditional headsets. It's really nice to be able to use your own earbuds. It's really nice to have more comfort, especially for longer days. And I just think that it's a great system. Well, I hope that helped you. I hope that that was something that could help you in your church as you're picking up the pace, making a better production so that people are not distracted by what's going on in your church. If you like this content, by all means subscribe either on YouTube, or I'd really love it if you would subscribe to my email newsletter. You can do that by heading over to trinitydigitalmedia.com/gifts, GIFTS. And there I've got all kinds of church tech goodies for you, and a free subscription to my email newsletter where I will tell you some of the cool things that are happening at Trinity Digital Media, and give you some tips and tricks that aren't published anywhere else as well. Until next time, this is Paul Alan Clifford with trinitydigitalmedia.com.